Hey everyone, welcome back to Switchtop. Today we're diving into the most relaxing, wholesome, and downright cozy games you can play on your Nintendo Switch. These are the games I turn to after a long day when I just want to unwind and feel good. No stress, no pressure, just pure comfort gaming. Let's count down the top 10 perfect cozy games on Nintendo Switch. Spiritfarer puts you in the role of Stella, a fairy master who guides spirits to the afterlife aboard your customizable boat. The gameplay loop revolves around platforming across your ever-expanding ship, gathering resources from various islands, cooking meals, building structures, and most importantly, caring for your spirit passengers. Each spirit has their own personality, backstory, and needs. Some want specific foods, others need certain buildings or activities to feel content. The crafting system is surprisingly deep, with farming, mining, fishing, weaving, and cooking all playing important roles. I found myself genuinely attached to these characters, and when it came time to bring them to the Everdor for their final goodbye, it hit harder than I expected. The hand-drawn art style is gorgeous, and the orchestral soundtrack perfectly captures both the melancholy and warmth of the experience. Despite dealing with themes of death and letting go, Spiritfarer never feels heavy. It's about celebrating life, finding closure, and the connections we make along the way. Wylde Flowers is a farming sim with a magical twist that completely surprised me. You play as Terra, a young woman who moves to her grandmother's farm on a remote island, only to discover that your grandmother is part of a secret coven of witches. The farming mechanics are solid, with seasonal crops, animal care, and resource management, but the magic system adds a whole new dimension. You'll brew potions, cast spells, and participate in coven rituals under the full moon. The relationship system is incredibly well developed, with a diverse cast of fully voice-acted characters, including multiple romance options regardless of gender. Time moves at a relaxed pace, and there's no pressure to min-max your farm or rush through content. I spent hours just chatting with villagers, attending town events, and slowly uncovering the island's mysteries. The story tackles some surprisingly mature themes about acceptance, tradition versus progress, and finding your place in a community, all while maintaining that cozy farming game vibe that makes it perfect for unwinding.
Just bring me some ingredients. Some mushrooms.
Melody of Moominvalley is based on the beloved Moomin series and captures the essence of wandering through nature without a care in the world. You play as Snufkin, a nomadic musician returning to Moominvalley in spring, only to find the park keeper has installed "keep off the grass" signs everywhere and imprisoned tiny creatures called hattie-fatteners. The gameplay is all about exploration, simple stealth mechanics to avoid the park keeper's inspectors, and using your harmonica to solve environmental puzzles. Playing melodies can make flowers bloom, calm animals, or reveal hidden paths. There's no combat, no timer, and no failure states. Just you wandering through beautifully stylized environments inspired by Tove Jansson's original artwork. I loved how the game encourages you to take your time, observe the world, and help the valley's inhabitants with small tasks. The philosophical tone perfectly matches the Moomin stories, with gentle messages about freedom, friendship, and living harmoniously with nature. It's short, sweet, and exactly what I needed when I wanted something peaceful. Stardew Valley is the game that redefined farming sims for a generation, and it still holds up as one of the coziest experiences on Switch. You inherit your grandfather's old farm in Pelican Town and transform it from an overgrown mess into a thriving agricultural paradise. The core loop involves planting and watering crops, raising animals, fishing, mining in the caves for resources and artifacts, and building relationships with the townspeople. Every villager has a detailed schedule, unique personality, and personal storyline that unfolds as you befriend them. The progression feels perfectly paced. You start with a basic watering can and a few parsnip seeds, but eventually you're automating your farm with sprinklers, exploring desert caves, and running a wine empire. I've sunk hundreds of hours across multiple saves and still find new details. The pixel art has this nostalgic charm, and Concerned Ape's soundtrack shifts beautifully between seasons. Whether you focus on farming, fishing, mining, or just befriending everyone in town, Stardew respects your playstyle and never punishes you for taking things slow. Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar delivers a cozy, structured take on the classic farming life sim formula, centered around the charming town of Zephyr. The story places you in a once popular market town whose famous bazaar has lost its energy, and your long-term goal is to help revive it through steady farm work and smart trading. Day-to-day gameplay revolves around planting crops, raising animals, foraging, fishing, and gathering materials. But the real hook is how everything feeds into the weekly bazaar. Instead of simply shipping goods, you set up your own stall, choose what to sell, decorate it, and actively manage sales as villagers browse and make purchases. Windmills play a key role, letting you process raw materials into higher-value products, while wind itself affects movement and production, adding light planning to each day. A glider makes exploration smoother and gives the town a unique sense of verticality. Social systems are just as important, with a relaxed pace that encourages building friendships, triggering heart events, and gradually feeling like part of the community. The loop is calm, rewarding, and highly rhythmic, making it ideal for players who enjoy planning ahead, steady progression, and a warm, low-pressure atmosphere. Potion Permit flips the usual farming sim formula by casting you as a chemist who moves to Moonberry to serve as the town's doctor after the previous physician left. The gameplay centers around diagnosing patients using a fun puzzle minigame where you match shapes to identify illnesses, then gathering ingredients from the wilderness to craft potions and treatments. Combat exists, but it's simple and optional. You can whack trees and rocks for materials, or fight monsters in the wilds surrounding town. The relationship system is robust, with every villager having their own health issues, personality quirks, and storylines. I loved how your reputation grows as you successfully treat people, slowly winning over a town that initially distrusts outsiders and modern medicine. The crafting system is intuitive, with a Tetris-like puzzle where you place ingredient shapes to match potion recipes. Your dog companion follows you everywhere and helps dig up materials. Plus, you can pet them anytime. The pixel art is colorful and expressive, and I found the daily routine of checking the clinic, exploring for ingredients, and helping townspeople incredibly soothing. Animal Crossing New Horizons became a cultural phenomenon for good reason. It's the ultimate relaxation game, where you build your island paradise at your own pace. You arrive on a deserted island with just a tent and 2 random animal villagers, then gradually transform it into a thriving community. The real-time clock means the game changes with actual seasons, times of day, and special events throughout the year. Daily activities include catching bugs and fish, shaking trees for resources, digging up fossils for the museum, and chatting with your animal neighbors, who each have distinct personalities. The terraforming tools let you completely reshape your island's landscape, creating cliffs, rivers, and waterfalls wherever you want. I've spent countless hours just decorating, rearranging furniture, and creating themed areas across my island. There's no failure, no game over, and no pressure if you don't play for weeks. Your villagers just miss you, and weeds grow. The gentle music, adorable art style, and constant small discoveries make every session feel rewarding, whether you play for 10 minutes or 3 hours. Disney Dreamlight Valley combines life simulation with Disney magic in ways I didn't expect to love this much. You're transported to a once thriving village, now covered in night thorns, due to a mysterious event called the Forgetting. As you clear the darkness, iconic Disney and Pixar characters return to the valley and need your help rebuilding. The gameplay blends farming, cooking, fishing, mining, and crafting with character-driven quests that feel true to each character's personality. Watching Remy from Ratatouille teach you recipes or helping Wally clean up the valley creates genuinely heartwarming moments. The progression system unlocks new biomes like the Forest of Valor, Frosted Heights, and Sunlit Plateau, each with unique resources and characters. I appreciate how the game respects your time. With no energy system, you can play as long as you want. Decorating your valley and house with Disney-themed furniture scratches that creative itch, and regular updates add new characters and storylines. The free-to-play model is generous, with no predatory mechanics. It's pure, nostalgic comfort wrapped in a genuinely good life sim.
Break from exploring. Feel free to stop at any of the many ponds, rivers, and beaches in Dreamlight Valley for a little bit of fun going fishing. Or you can take a moment to grow a garden. You'll need to choose a good spot for it first. Then, plant some seeds, grab your royal watering can, and water your loving...
Unpacking is one of the most unique, cozy games I've ever played. It's entirely about unpacking boxes and placing items in new living spaces across different stages of someone's life. There's no dialogue, no text, just you pulling items from cardboard boxes and finding the right spot for everything. Each level represents a move to a new home, from a childhood bedroom to college dorms, shared apartments, and beyond. The genius is how the game tells a complete story through objects alone. You notice recurring items, like a stuffed pig that follows the protagonist through every move, or how certain belongings appear and disappear based on relationships and life changes. The pixel art is incredibly detailed, with satisfying click sounds as you place items. I found myself naturally creating logical arrangements: toiletries in the bathroom, books on shelves, kitchen items in drawers. Some levels have specific placement requirements that guide you toward the correct arrangement, but there's still room for personal expression. The Zen-like gameplay, combined with the environmental storytelling, creates something meditative and emotionally resonant. It's short, but absolutely worth experiencing. A short hike is exactly what it sounds like. You play as a bird named Claire, visiting Hawk Peak Provincial Park with one goal: hike to the mountain summit to get cell phone reception. But this simple premise unfolds into one of the most joyful exploration experiences on Switch. The entire island is open from the start, and you can reach the summit in under an hour if you go directly. But the magic is in wandering off the path. You'll meet quirky characters, discover hidden treasures, race other hikers, play beach stickball, fish in mountain streams, and collect golden feathers that expand your stamina for climbing and flying. The movement feels incredible, running, jumping, and gliding through the low-poly landscape with dynamic music that swells as you soar. I spent hours just exploring every corner of the island, talking to everyone, and finding secret paths. There's no pressure, no combat, no failure, just pure exploration and the simple pleasure of reaching the top of a mountain. The whole experience radiates warmth and positivity, celebrating the journey rather than the destination. It's the perfect game when you need to remember that sometimes the best adventures are the unplanned ones. And there you have it, the top 10 perfect cozy games on Nintendo Switch. Whether you want to farm, explore, craft, or just relax, these games have got you covered. If you enjoyed this list, hit that like button and subscribe to Switch Top for more Nintendo Switch content. Until next time.